Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome on stage our first actor. Are you ready for that? Yes, you are. Put your hands together. Welcome to the stage our first actor. You know you're going to love him. Simon Keck, let's hear it.
Quite the intro, wasn't it? I don't mean to alarm anyone, but we're in a comedy gig and there are beautiful girls here. Are you lost? You're aware this is comedy, right? Like, not just looking up here and going, man, indie bands are getting so much shittier. Because like, if your husband hunting at a comedy gig, you're through the barrel, you're scraping the ground right now. There is... Be honest, have you finally figured out that your gay friends just will not turn? Is that why you're there? Fair enough. Speaking of gay friends, I recently went to a wedding, a big gay wedding, and awesome. I had like an amazing time at this wedding. Although before I left, I had a bunch of friends say, well, it's not really a wedding, is it? You know, it's a civil union. They're not getting married, so you can't call it a wedding. But I can call you a bigoted twat, so that works out. Seriously, how can you deny gay guys a wedding? A wedding is the gayest thing mankind has ever created. It's so gay. Like, sir, if I was to take off your shoe and then peel back your sock in front of all these good people, and then take your sweaty big toe into the soft warmth of my mouth, before delicately sucking it. The two glorious hours. All of that just then, not as gay as a wedding. Not even in the same league. Like if Kylie Minogue spontaneously grew a cock that could ejaculate Pinot Grigio onto black guys in sailors' hats, still not nowhere near in the same league. Not at all. I feel sorry for my friend though. He's come up against a lot of homophobia in his life, which is terribly sad. But the one thing that it always sort of, it's a phobia, you know. You've got to understand that's an irrational fear, so you can't reason with homophobes, you know. Like they would say the same thing about gay people that I say about spiders. They're freaky looking and they lurk in the toilets. So I understand, I just don't agree. But the funniest thing that he brings up about homophobia is just this weird idea homophobes have that gay men will just fuck them if they're not constantly vigilant. Always on the lookout. Like, oh, tying your shoelaces, you should have known that. That's crazy. That's a fucking crazy idea, right? Like, but if that's the expectation, and if you're a gay guy in the audience tonight, I don't know if anyone's told you that you could be doing a lot more straight rape. If that's the expectation, you're not living up to it. So, if anything, you're making homophobes look foolish by not raping them. Which is very cruel. I think you should take the higher path and then just bend a homophobe over and give them a good hard justification for their paranoid worldview. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I had a fun time at the wedding. The only bit that was weird about the wedding was I got a bit teared up during the speeches, and which is cool. Like, as comfortable as I am with my own masculinity, any time a short man carrying a dog in his handbag calls you a pussy, it's got a bit of sting in it. That hurt in here. I've never understood that term, like pussy, in the pejorative, right, to denote weakness. Pussy is me. Makes no sense. Vaginas wash themselves in human blood and they spit out entire people. That is hardcore in anybody's language. That's crazy. Like conversely, what does the macho penis do? Occasionally stands up, vomits, then passes out. What a pussy. I feel okay saying pussy. I'm in touch with my feminine side. Just the other week, I did the kind of poo that makes you sympathetic towards pregnant women. These girls get it. Right on, sisters, all without Anne Hathaway films and our travelling pants. Keep that dream alive. I think the reason that I did such a tremendous poo that I now have a photo of in my wallet to show strangers is that, like, I became a vegetarian about a month ago. I became a vegetarian, and like not a strict vegetarian. I eat eggs. I had eggs for breakfast, but I am pro-abortion, so I feel like that makes sense. Oh, that's cool. Just sit there in your interspecies double standard silence. No problem. Abortion does suck the air out of a room, though, doesn't it? When you just say the word. Like, and it's a tricky subject, ethically, horrendously tricky. Like, personally, I don't want to harm a living fetus, but I do want to kill children. So it's more of a scheduling conflict. Like, I think if we could make the cutoff age 3rd trimester to moment it opens its mouth in a cafe, we'd all be a little more pro-choice, am I right? I think so. It sort of comes down to young mums are pricks. They totally are. Like, they've got this weird kind of residual god complex from creating life through their magical portal that is their vagina, and they get away with acting like such assholes, right? Like I love that a young mum will spend 9 long months, nurturing this exquisite life inside of them. But then the moment that they've kicked it out of their nanny flaps, they will, it's a good line, the moment they've squeezed it away from Aslan, the moment they've had that kid, they will strap it into a stroller and then just ram them into shins like a Russian icebreaker in the Arctic. Just no regard for the child's safety anymore. Just, excuse me, God, this is like mowing the lawn made of people that won't get the fuck out of my way. If I did that, I would get my head kicked in. That's totally for sure. I think I'll close on this. I think tonight I would like to thank someone who we all know, who just does not get the kudos that they so rightly deserve. So, to the crazy old guy on the train with no front teeth, who grabs up every discarded MX, I don't know if you're making social commentary on poor journalism or a bed. Either way, keep up that, because it's solid. Don't let the man stop you from making your art. That's it. You are Melbourne's piss-stained Banksy, as far as I'm concerned. Keep the art alive. Art's a weird thing, though, isn't it? It's very strange, you know. Like, artists, all the great artists in their day were reviled in the time, you know. Like, they were the poverty-stricken, fringe of society type people that no one really understood. So every time I'm on a tram and I see a passed-out guy who's been obviously chroming, I think, am I seeing the passed out guy who was obviously chroming? Or am I seeing the next wave? Am I seeing an art installation about a guy making a bold statement about mankind kissing robots? I don't know. That's why it's art. We'll never know. It's all context. You know? Like, it is all context as well. Like, everyone's familiar with Bjork, right? With the little Icelandic, dressed like a swan, punched like a bee. That made no sense. It's all context. So if you take the opening verse of her song Hyper Ballad, okay? So we live on a mountain, right at the top. There's a beautiful view from the top of our mountain. Every morning I walk towards the edge and throw little things off, like car parts, bottles and cutlery, or whatever I find lying around. Now in the context of Bjork, that is just a little Icelandic pixie cute, isn't it? It's just quirky and adorable. Coming out of a leather-faced guy smoking the wrong end of a cigarette on a 9 AM Dandenong train, fucking terrifying. It's not art then, is it? If it's art, it's a spoken word piece called Prelude to a Stabbing. I think I finished my art tonight. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well done.
Wonderful.